Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Aurelia. I'm so excited that you are here. Today's video is going to be how to shop for comfortable shoes. If you are new to my channel, the content that I provide here is all around fashion and style for women of any shape and size. However, I tend to focus on plus size because that is who I am. I post video 1 to 2 times a week, so if you are interested, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before you head out so that you don't miss any of my content. All right. How to shop for comfortable shoes. This could not come at a better time. Nordstrom anniversary sale is just around the corner, and if you are interested in buying some shoes as part of the sale, follow some of these tips to get the most comfortable shoes possible. There are a lot of you out there who have left comments. You can't wear pointy-toed shoes, you can no longer wear heels, and I am, terribly sorry about that. I am still in a place where I can wear pointy-toe shoes and I still can wear heels, and so that's kind of what this video is all about today. But if you're interested anyway in learning, if you maybe want to venture out, even when it comes to a very, very small heel like a kitten heel, I can share some information here I think that will be of help. Essentially, there are 3 key things to keep in mind that will tell you if it's going to be a comfortable shoe or not. The first one are materials. By materials, I mean, what is the shoe made of? Is it made of leather? Is it made of polyurethane or vegan leather? Is it made of fabric? I tend to veer to natural materials like leather, suede being the same, because I need a material that is breathable. Polyurethane or vegan leather, that material can't breathe very well. It will cause my feet to sweat. When I get sweaty feet, that's when things start moving around, and that's when I tend to get very uncomfortable. So me personally, I need natural materials. However, if you are a vegan, polyurethane is an absolute acceptable product to use. Additionally, you have other elements that come into shoes. So I'm showing you here my most favorite and most comfortable shoe ever, and this is the Calvin Klein. I think it's called the Gale heel. You can get it at Macy's, I'm pretty sure. It's got leather on the outside. The sole is made of leather. The only thing that is not leather is the bottom of the shoe, which is actually rubber, and actually is a good thing because it helps to prevent slipping. It really helps, the landing of the foot, and it is very flexible, all things considered. So all in all, this shoe has got really great material construction in my opinion, because it has all of these things that are very important. You also have shoes like this one here that is similar. It is patent, so it's not going to be as flexible, but it does have leather lining on the inside, so that will help the shoe to mold to your feet. This shoe's got a leather bottom versus this one that has a rubber bottom. Either way, they work fine. They're very good materials. They're very well constructed shoes. The other component to consider when you're shopping, especially for heels, is the placement of the heel. So again, with my Calvin Klein shoe, as you will see, the placement of the heel actually lines up right to the center point of the heel of my foot. And that is the ideal placement for any shoe. If you've ever bought shoes that actually the heel comes straight down from the back of the foot, and this little piece here is actually like somewhere over here, just know that that's not going to be a comfortable shoe, because the heel placement is not right under the center of the heel of your foot, which is where all the force of your stepping is. This shoe here is extremely comfortable because it's got that balance. Same for this one. Even though the heel is really, really tall, because of its placement, I've got a lot of comfort here. My foot is landing in the right spot. My foot isn't being pushed forward by the heel itself. Even when it comes to something like a kitten heel, here is a short heel, as you can tell, but it falls right into the center of the heel of my foot. If it were here, it would kind of force my foot to go forward. I would not be comfortable in this shoe because it would be a little bit off, and it would be forcing my foot forward and into the toe box, which makes for crunched up toes, which is not a pleasant feeling. Always, always, always take a good look at your heel. Make sure that it's falling in the center part of the heel of your foot, and you're going to be in great shape. The next component to consider when you're shopping for shoes are the arch of the shoe. Again, looking at this Calvin Klein heel here, you see that the arch of the foot, you know, this piece right here is actually at a very good angle. I can tell just by looking at it that my foot is going to sit in this shoe very nicely, and I will be making contact, my foot will be making contact with the sole of the heel pretty much at all times. I do have a pair of shoes that doesn't quite do that, and they're not the most comfortable shoes. I don't wear them that often for that reason, and it's these little guys right here. The arch of the foot is, you know, the angle that the foot is going in is very steep. So that pitch is really, really steep, and it's got a little curve right here on the ball of the foot that you cannot see, but it's got a little bit of a dip, and that dip makes a huge difference because my foot loses contact with the shoe at that point. Now, not all feet are the same. That is how my feet are in these shoes. Other women, I'm pretty sure, can get away with wearing those shoes. For me, the ball of my foot doesn't hit that point, and it is a very, very uncomfortable shoe for that reason. And even if you have something like a chunky heel like this one, if the arch isn't good, it won't matter. That actually brings me to heel width. You don't always have to wear a spiked heel. And I would say that chunky heels are actually a lot more stable, of course, because they're not a tiny, you know, you're not putting everything on a tiny piece of plastic. You're actually putting it on something that is, you know, bigger and can handle the weight of what's happening. You will notice that this particular shoe, you know, the heel falls straight down, but that's okay because it's got a chunky heel. So I know that it's going to provide me stability. I've got stability where I need it in the center of where the foot of my heel hits this shoe. There are a few things that I want to address where flats are concerned. On the appearance, it seems like it should be comfortable. Not all flats are made the same. So a few things to consider when you're buying flats in order for them to be comfortable and not hurt your feet. A flat should have cushioning along the bottom of the foot. Ideally, you'll want a little bit of cushioning here on the arch of the foot. No matter whether you've got fallen arches or not, our feet are not 100% flat. They do even have just even the hint of a curve. And because of that, we need to have something to help support it. This has a very, very small amount of cushioning. They are comfortable. They're not uncomfortable, but just keep in mind that, you know, you want to get something that has got a little bit of cushioning. Also, even this tiny heel that I have got on this shoe, even though it is maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little over 1/4 of an inch, it makes the hugest difference in your shoes. Because they're not 100% flat, your heel isn't pounding on just the ground. This actually has a little bit of something to help absorb some of that shock. I've had sandals in the past that were completely flat, and I ended up with plantar fasciitis because my heel was striking the ground and it was just too much for my foot. So do keep that in mind when you're shopping for flats. Not all flats are created equal, and a completely flat shoe is not going to be a comfortable shoe. A few guidelines for actual shoe shopping. Don't shop for shoes first thing in the morning. The narrowest shoe is going to fit you really, really great because your foot hasn't had a chance to get all puffy from everything that happens to it throughout the day. Make sure to shop for your shoes later on in the evening or in the afternoon once you've been on your feet for a bit and they've had a chance to swell up. That's when you're going to get the best fit. That's when you're going to know if a shoe is going to fit you and or whether you need to make adjustments to the sizing. The other thing is to make sure to try both shoes on. Don't just try one and call it good, because no one has got exactly the same 2 feet. One foot is going to be a little bit different than the other. Usually one runs a little smaller than the other, and so you want to be sure that you're trying on both shoes to make sure that both of them fit your feet the way that they're supposed to. The third tip that I have as far as shopping goes is wear the shoes for 5 minutes. Sitting, standing, walking, take a stroll around the shoe department. It's very, very important that you walk in them for a few minutes, you stand in them for a little while so that you know how comfortable they're going to be, because A shoe can fit really great to start, but once you start actually moving around and putting impact on the shoes, things can happen. Your foot can slide forward and it can all of a sudden be uncomfortable. Something's rubbing in the wrong way. A seam might be rubbing your foot, you know, your toes, your cuticles, things like that, you know. So you need to wear them for a few minutes to know that they are the right shoe for you, because nothing destroys a chic outfit like an uncomfortable pair of shoes. I don't care what anyone tells you. I think comfort is a component of style and confidence. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be confident and you're not going to be stylish, or as stylish as you could be. And the last tip that I have for you is, if you do have a shoe where you realize that, you know, you've been wearing them for a few hours and it's like maybe you've got a seam that's rubbing the cuticle on your toe, or it's causing a blister somewhere, or it's rubbing someplace, then invest in some balm. And I don't know what it's called, I'm so sorry, but it is a runner's balm, and I will have a picture of it here. I will also have it linked in the description bar down below. I have some that Band-Aid used to make that they've discontinued. I still have a couple because I bought them as backups, and I love them. They are lifesavers. It is just a silicone balm that you put on, and essentially what it does is it creates a barrier between your skin and the shoe, so that when it's sliding around, it's not taking the skin with it. It's just sliding on that, you know, on that silicone barrier. You may have to reapply throughout the day, but still it is definitely a good thing to have, because it beats a Band-Aid. For me, what ends up happening is that the shoe will rub the Band-Aid off. So I not only have the shoe rubbing on my skin, I've got the Band-Aid rubbing on my skin, and that just makes for a really bad situation. So that's why I much prefer to use this balm type stuff to help me out, because it's much better for me. But if Band-Aids work for you, if you don't have that problem, then by all means continue to use your Band-Aids. So those are my tips and tricks for shopping for comfortable shoes. Please make sure to leave anything I might have forgotten or not mentioned or not come across in my research in the comments down below. I'm always happy to geek out where fashion is concerned. I'm sure the community would love to read about it. Also, don't forget to check out some of my other videos on fashion and style for the plus size woman. I am pointing to a couple of videos here that you should go to after I'm done with this video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next upload. Bye.